Hello everybody, I'm Maxi, welcome to a new episode. For the newcomers to this channel, since you are already watching this video, I think you are considering learning Chinese, right? And you may already know that there are two different versions of the written Chinese, the simplified and the traditional. Chinese speakers from different places use different versions, so which one should you choose? And before I share anything else, I need to say that all the Chinese you see in this channel is simplified Chinese because I'm from mainland China. But I can read both versions, and a lot of native Chinese speakers can do that. And it's gonna be the same case for you when your Chinese becomes good enough, even if you haven't systematically learned the other version. So you only need to learn one version, and which version to learn should only depend on where you are gonna use your Chinese mainly. And I hope this episode can help you make that decision. So first, how different are they? Well, sometimes they can be exactly the same. Like this sentence, 我在上海很想你. I miss you a lot in Shanghai. The simplified version and the traditional version are exactly the same. And then sometimes they can be from different to very different. Like this sentence, 一只忧郁的台湾乌龟, a depressed Taiwanese turtle. You can see the one and one, wu and wu, gui and gui are different, but still look like each other. But then there is you and you that look totally different. The difference can appear in some very basic words. For example, the Mandarin word for that is 那个, though many people nowadays pronounce it casually as 那个. Anyway, in the two versions, 个 and 个 are different. And then the word for the behind is 后面. And as you can see, 后 and 后 are different. And then the word for working is 干活. So 干 and 干 are different. Again, here I need to mention that Chinese is a very contextual language. So if you present some of the traditional Chinese characters alone to me, I may not recognize them. But as long as they appear in words in sentences, I usually have no problem recognizing them, even if I have never seen this character before. In my personal case, I have never systematically learned the traditional Chinese characters. My first exposure to them was in my childhood when I played video games. Back then, mainland China doesn't produce its own games. There was no this industry, and people basically didn't translate and import games from the outside. But somehow there were magically a lot of Japanese games that got translated in Taiwan and then came into the mainland. I grew up playing games like that, and they use traditional characters. It felt strange and a little hard at first, but after a while I just naturally became able to read them. So it's really nothing to worry. After you learn one version, the other will come to you naturally, after you got exposed to a few of them. Okay, so how widely are either of them used? At present, in all of the places around the world where Chinese is used, the simplified Chinese is the dominant version. Mainland China uses simplified Chinese as the official written language. Singapore does it too. The UN uses simplified Chinese. You can go check their website. They have 6 official languages and Chinese is one of them, and it's simplified. Malaysia, though they don't use Chinese as an official language, but there is a huge Chinese community there, and most of the Chinese schools use simplified Chinese. So, where do people use traditional Chinese? First, Taiwan uses traditional Chinese as its official written language, and then the city of Hong Kong and Macau use traditional Chinese as their official written Chinese. And that's it. Only these 3 places officially use traditional Chinese. And then for the other overseas Chinese communities you would see, usually you would find that people use simplified Chinese and traditional Chinese. I'm not saying that one person would normally mix the two versions. It's more like in the communities there are simplified users and there are traditional users. And then because the current tide of globalization is the mainland China companies going overseas, so it's foreseeable that you're gonna see more and more simplified Chinese all around the world in the future. Okay, with all of those said, it's worth mentioning that mainland China doesn't exclusively use simplified Chinese. For example, when a brand wants to emphasize the culture, the tradition, they may use traditional Chinese characters in their logos or something else aesthetic. And some people here use traditional Chinese when they practice calligraphy. because they think the traditional version is more beautiful. But for everything we use here to convey information, to communicate, you would say simplified Chinese. So, in my opinion, if you are a beginner to study this language, simplified Chinese is absolutely the more economical choice. It opens more opportunities, it opens a larger market. But of course, if your career path is already very clear that you are going to end up in a place where they use traditional Chinese and you are going to stay there for a long time and don't come out, then traditional Chinese is your choice. Okay, that is this episode about traditional Chinese and simplified Chinese. Hope I helped you make your decision. And thank you for watching this far. I'm Maxi. I mostly talk about Mandarin, but sometimes I also share some fun facts about China. If you like this video, if you like what I do, please leave a like and subscribe. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.